Today we're going to be talking about the SE5 and how our viewer can utilize the capacity of scalar quantum effects at a distance.
Correct.
We have so many people around the world using this technology, farmers and doctors and scientists.
Right.
What can you show us that would make me understand that it really affects the physical world in a way that if I want to subscribe, I can see that kind of effect on my field? Welcome to Quantum Wellness, an explanation video as to what quantum wellness is, a new era in our human evolution. My name is Ilona Selke. I'm an internationally best-selling author. This is Dr. Dawn Paris. I will be interviewing you today here for the purpose of explaining quantum wellness. Now, you've been working in this field for 35 years, and you've been helping people in the realms of quantum consciousness and quantum technology for that long or longer.
Exactly.
Now, I'd like you to explain to all the viewers who may remember our interview about CHEO. I see you have your CHEO on as well.
Yeah.
Electrosmog protection and the BioArc disc.
Correct.
And I highly recommend that series of interviews if you're being exposed to electrosmog, which most of all of us are. Today we're going to be talking about the SE5 and how our viewer can utilize the capacity of scalar quantum effects at a distance.
Correct. Basically what radionics is the ability to analyze, we use the SE5 to analyze and then balance subtle energy fields or informational fields. And these are non-physical, they're like pre-physical blueprints of everything that is in existence. So that means both health and pathogens or plants or animals. Everything has an informational structure that starts at a pre-physical level. And that's not just a theory, that's really becoming the mainstay of scientific understanding of how things come into existence and hold their field in this dimension so they don't just disappear. Everything is made up of atoms, but they're spinning all the time, and what holds that together is this informational blueprint. And we found a way with radionics to tap into that blueprint, but bring that back into balance if it's gotten out of balance.
So this technology is based on research of a number of known scientists, James Clerk Maxwell, who developed the understanding of scalar fields. And he's the one who developed the electromagnetic understanding.
Exactly.
That electricity and electromagnetism and then the scalar fields work hand in hand. So it's a multidimensional universe approach. And quantum theory is now saying the same thing, that there is something that's faster than light and that is communicating at a distance. Einstein didn't like it, but I guess you're here to prove that wrong and to take us to the next level.
Well, Einstein did have an understanding of it. He called it spooky action at a distance because it's in the mathematics and it's in practicality, but it doesn't fit very well into standard physics. You might recognize these from Star Trek. In Star Trek Voyager, the captain was always giving out these little tablets. This is really like a tricorder in essence. It's the ability to analyze things at a distance and then correct them. A lot of times they would make a few adjustments on the tricorder and the person would feel better or they would have effects. I discuss this really intensely in my book, Regaining Wholeness Through the Subtle Dimensions, which at the end of this video, you'll get a chance to get this book for free. Here's an experiment just to show you what happens, and this is on the website as well, but I want to show it here to show people what happens when you put these informational fields into water. So we're going to look at what happens with flowers that had water that was not energized or imprinted with information, and flowers that were imprinted with informational fields from the SE5.
So you're saying this is able to imprint information into a physical structure like water, and then that will change what happens to the plants.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay. flowers cannot have a placebo effect.
That's right.
These flowers that lasted longer, stood up stronger, they only did it because they had information in the water.
Correct.
Now, can I imprint this into my system? I have a lot of water. I'm, as a human, 70% water. Can we do that?
Basically, that's what we're doing. We're taking the informational fields and finding the basic informational structure that should be there in a healthy system. And if it's out of balance a little bit, we just bring it back into balance. And our system, our body, does all the healing itself. Because it's innate within our system to tap into these informational fields. But sometimes they get distorted. Just like distorted audio doesn't sound good. Same thing happens in our body. You were talking about the Institute of Resonance Therapy. And this is an experiment they did with some trees. These were suffering from acid rain damage. And this was before, and then they balanced them for over a period of 3 years as an experiment at a distance of over 100 kilometers away. Okay. And this is what happened after 3 years.
Oh my God.
Here's another stand of trees before and then after.
Oh my God.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they did do the studies with some trees that actually were not being balanced, compared them with the trees that got balanced over that 3-year period. And here you can see that even in the second year there was a drought, the trees that were being balanced didn't change much. And they would use a light meter under the trees to see how many leaves were there. So if there were more leaves, it would produce less light. That means a healthier tree.
Okay.
So it was less light consistently over all 3 years, whereas the trees that were not being balanced obviously had
still
a lot more light. They lost a lot of leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sending information at a distance creates physical changes in nature, much like we are a physical body, trees are a physical body, and without the tree knowing what is being done to it, no fertilizers being added, it acts as though it was getting
exactly
more nutrients or more water or whatnot.
It basically brought itself back into balance and grew better. And here are some seeds. On the top row you hear those were not balanced, and the bottom ones were balanced before they put them into water. It was just after 10 days to let them sprout. And you can see the root structure is much stronger on the balanced seeds.
How do you get informational fields into these seeds so that they grow that much better?
Okay, that's a really good question. Basically what we do is we take a photograph of the seeds, the ones that we're going to balance, and we put them into the SE5. There's a slot here in the back. And we put them into the SE5, and then inside we have different programs. I would go to the agricultural program, and I would load that up, and inside of that program we have a lot of specific tunings.
I see here alkalinity, acidity, balance.
Align the energy, balance the ammonia, animals, in case it's animals in an agricultural area, to drive away animals. Overall balance, blockages.
So this is a pre-created program that then you balance the seeds with, and then these seeds are put into the soil with the others that were not treated. 10 days later they dig them up, and that's what the result is.
That's exactly.
So you could send this same agricultural program to the stand of trees in America. We are here in Bali. It doesn't matter where you're in the world.
Doesn't matter. So for people that are signing up for their weekly balancing, we're going to be doing that balancing from Bali, but they can be anywhere in the world.
Oh, look at this. This is another one. Oh, you did it for 28 days.
Yeah, so you can see the small ones barely grew, and the large ones had much larger root structures.
That's outstanding. And this is just informational fields. Again, did you do it at the beginning or throughout the 28 days?
This was balancing them just before we planted them. That was it. That's time.
A one-time shot?
That was a one-time shot.
So you're offering 3 sessions?
Yes, 3 times a week, and then each week you can choose a different program. If you want more balancing on the same program, you would choose the same program twice. But basically, you get 4 different programs a month, and then 3 times a week we will balance those programs.
And what amount of programs do I have to choose from, or can I choose from?
There are over 50 different programs in there.
50?
Yeah, we have 15 different categories, and then underneath of those are different, many different programs, and you choose one of those programs. Chakra balancing, for example, or allergies, or expanding your spiritual growth, all kinds of different things.
So then, when it gets activated, how will I know that I'm being treated?
Well, we will send actually a schedule of when it's going to be balancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that I get 3 sessions a week, 4 weeks, and how much is that going to cost?
Well, if you just do a 1 month thing, it's $99.95.
Okay, so per week, $25.
Right.
Okay.
But if you sign up for a subscription, then you'll get locked into that price, and then it's only $49.95 a month.
Half that much.
Half the price.
Well, that's a deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Okay, so now, is there anything that that you would like to share with me that would like cinch the deal for me, that would say this really can make a difference in your life?
Well, let's look at some more pictures and see, because I've got so many experiments that we've done over the last 35 years. It's unbelievable. Here's what we did in China. They flew me to China and they had me analyze specific Chinese herbal remedies. They spent over $6 million collecting all these remedies that were going to be lost, basically because of pollution in China and also because people are not studying this anymore. And so I went over and I scanned these different remedies and we put them into radionic form. And then they did experiments with them. So here are just some of the things. There are a couple pictures of me scanning the remedies. Then the results were outrageous. Now they've done over 60,000 trials with these scanned remedies. They've checked for bone fractures, insomnia, digestive problems, heart disease, anemia, flu, etc. Now, keep in mind, when we talk about radionics, we're not replacing medical therapy. If a person has an issue like this, and these were all done together with the hospital.
So people did have those conditions.
They had the conditions.
But we only work on the informational level here.
That's only what we did. We just worked on the informational level, and when they did these studies, they actually put these remedies into water, and the person would just take the water instead of the actual remedy. Now here we have, like, for example, with heart problems, they had 173 clients, and they had an 86% effectiveness in alleviating their issues.
86% alleviation of the issue.
Digestive problems, they did 120 people in this particular study, 83%. With gout, 86% success rate. Respiratory systems, 86%. Bone fracture, 97%.
Wow, those hospital studies sound amazing. 86% effectiveness in alleviating those conditions. We know, for a disclaimer, medical disclaimer, we only work on informational fields.
Correct.
But the effects are visible to the naked eye, such as with the trees or with the plants, the flowers earlier, or in this case.
And just to reiterate, if you do have a medical issue, contact your medical practitioner. This is not a replacement for medical treatment.
So, is there anything else that we should know about that you would like to share?
Well, let's just look a little bit about in agriculture, how they've been using it. For example, in China, this is an institute they've built for doing SE5 research, and they have 186 SE5s in there, and they're working with agriculture. Just to show you what they've done, it's amazing. This is some land that they started with, and the soil was absolutely terrible. It was polluted, just overworked, and this is what it started with.
Oh my God.
And they did some experiments first, and here you can see in the circle, that was the only area they treated with the SE5, and you can see how much better that grew.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then this one, just in those striped there, that's where the balancing was. So that gave them the encouragement to go ahead and really start doing this. And this is what they came up with after their first season.
Oh my
This
God.
is no pesticides and no fertilizers, only using the SE5 and radionic balancing. And the foods that they've gotten, look at this. Without radionics, they did studies to find out. You can see the color difference and the size difference, and it's more vital, healthier food.
Why doesn't the entire world know about this?
And look at this. They're so happy doing these things.
Yes. So we're living in a consciousness interactive or informational field interactive universe.
Yeah.
You're working with informational fields affecting the physical world.
Correct.
So we're not talking about medical conditions, for example, which is why we offer the disclaimer, which is an important aspect to keep things in the right place. But you and all of us are able to harness this informational field power. And you offer a subscription where people can choose programs to balance themselves at a particular time with live people activating the programs.
So I would like to invite all of you to experiment with this, try this out, and see what the results are for yourself. like I said, I've been doing this for over 35 years, and I've seen miracle after miracle after miracle. Both of us have.
So tell me, have some people use this particular technology? You have servers in all different nations and countries. It's India, it's America, or China. We're here located right now in Bali. What is a story or two you can tell us from people who have used this particular form of balancing?
Well, we have testimonials here on the website. You can read some of those. We have some people that have been subscribing for the last couple of years already, and the feedback that we're getting is consistent, positive results. Across the board, we've seen miracle after miracle after miracle.
That's why they keep signing up.
That's why they keep signing up.
It's evidence in itself. So here at quantumwellnesshub.com, we are offering the 3 sessions a week for a whole month, for 4 weeks, and that's costing $49.95. And if you only choose 1 month to experiment with, you can pay $99.
Sure.
But once you do the $49.95, you can get it every month for that price, right?
It never goes up.
It's not just a one-time thing.
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
All right. And I know that you're also offering the very duper, super duper special with the Bali blessings included in it.
Yeah, that's correct. We've been doing the Bali blessings now for the last year. Our staff here in Bali are amazing angels, and you can watch some of the videos. They are so tuned in, and they actually do a personal blessing for the person that signs up each week.
It's the beauty of it, it's interactive.
Yeah.
So they offer a Gayatri mantra. It's a blessing, it's the prayer for the enlightenment of all sentient beings with their culture that they bring. And the whole village is in support of this because we're able to give them employment because of this. We can't give the blessings to many of the guests because they're not flying into Bali yet, but we are able to send the blessings out into the world through WhatsApp videos or Telegram videos. And then part 2 of the blessing is where people are asked to think of their wish, a wish that is dear to their heart for the week, and then they're getting an energy ball. And when I watch that, it's like, whoosh.
I get chills every single time they do it.
Oh my God, it's like getting a personal support for your wish, and you're asked to focus on something that you wish to manifest or realize in your life.
Yeah.
So that's part 2. You can add that for another $25. I would choose that one.
Check that out.
The total is what, $79? So you promised us a free book.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Okay, so if you look down below the video here, there's a little sign-up form, and you'll get my newsletter. I have a few newsletters. I don't overwhelm people with newsletters, but I do them occasionally. Then you'll also get a link to download my book, Regaining Wholeness Through the Subtle Dimensions, for free.
That's an amazing book that
is.
gives you this research, but also the explanation as to why scalar technology works, how it works, the mathematics. Well, thank you very much for having explained to us and given us such solid, detailed proof how informational fields affect the physical reality.
Well, the real proof will be in your own life. When you do this, you feel the effects and you get the results. End of story. You don't have to be convinced, because you will be convinced by your own experience, like I have, like you have, and thousands of other people have been around the planet. This has been around for over 100 years. It doesn't go away because it works, period.
We are entering a new era in understanding how reality works. So welcome to Quantum Wellness, and let yourself explore and experiment so that you understand how information can travel outside of the confinements of time and space to reach you and create a better life for you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.